Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness dropped back at the beginning of May, garnering pretty decent reviews along the way. The movie was a long time coming after the original 2016's Doctor Strange. However, some fans have noticed an annoying mistake in the movie's ending scene, which hasn't sat well. Today, we are discussing a Marvel fan spotting a mistake in the Doctor Strange sequel, so stay right where you are. Let's jump straight in then. What's this mistake all about? Stay with us. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is available on Disney Plus right now. And alongside the movie, Marvel has also released an audio commentary for fans to delve into, which gives viewers a more in-depth look at how the movie was actually made and details of cool Easter eggs and other little tidbits. And with the movie now being able to be watched at home, people can stop and rewind their favorite parts. But they can also do the same if they notice something curious, which one fan in particular has done. The issue surrounds America Chavez and the star portals which Reddit user u/handsoff_1 has picked up on in the last scenes. As Wong and Gomez's characters retreat from Mount Wundagore, they head off to rescue Doctor Strange from his broken reality hell. But when they do so, they are back in the snowy mountain they have just come from. Of course, this seems like a huge continuity error and has raised some questions as to what on earth, or should we say what in the multiverse, is going on. Did you guys pick up on this when watching the Doctor Strange sequel? Let us know below. So, what could the reason be then? Let's see. Well, the most likely explanation for this pretty large mistake is that it is simply that, a mistake. However, with a budget of $200 million for a movie which is expected to break $1 billion in revenue all told, we're not having that. This is too simple a mistake for no one on the cast or crew to have picked up on. However, some have suggested that the changes in script could be to blame. Two different versions have ended up muddling the ending, which of course could happen. But again, there's too much on the line for it to be a simple mistake. Some other theories have suggested that those who survived Kamar Taj and Rintrah could have actually been involved in the final scene. It would mean Chavez and Wong didn't actually leave Kamar Taj whatsoever. Instead, they waited around at Mount Wundagore and collected the titular character of Strange then and there. The theory goes that when the crew went back to alter the Wundagore scenes, the changes could potentially have caused differences that were skimmed over. Other than this, there's no particular reason why Wong and Chavez's location would have changed. Of course, it's possible for them to go anywhere thanks to the Star Portal, but it just didn't make a lot of sense. What was your theory for this? Let us know below. Next up, Wanda Maximoff herself has stopped by. Wanda Maximoff actress Elizabeth Olsen appeared on Jimmy Fallon's The Tonight Show recently to discuss all things Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But she had a pretty big revelation of her own, admitting to Fallon that I haven't seen it still. Wow, she didn't go to the premiere? Well, no. Apparently when the film got its world premiere, Olsen had a cold, and given the current climate of the world, it was probably for the best that she skipped the movie. Imagine the uproar if she had appeared out in public with a cold. However, Disney actually sent her a screener, but she didn't watch that either thanks to a pretty annoying watermark. I mean, come on Disney, you can't even send a proper copy to one of the stars of the show? Those things are super annoying, so we're not surprised Olsen didn't bother with it, to be fair. She went on to say, I haven't seen it still. I'm not one of those. I'm like one of those people who likes to study something so I can figure out how to make it better. No, I had a cold when we had the premiere and I didn't want to sit through it, and so I asked them to send a copy so I could watch it and was like, it had my name on it and it had the time that I was watching it and I didn't want to watch it like that. What did you make of Olsen's revelation? A word from the movie's composer now. Stick around. You might have noticed some pretty cool music in the recent Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and that was all down to world-class composer Danny Elfman. However, the man himself has recently revealed a last-minute change orchestrated by Marvel head Kevin Feige. One scene in particular, when our hero and Sinister Strange are doing battle with musical spells, was the basis for Feige's change, with Elfman revealing that was a concept that came together a little more generally and then got focused down. It went through a number of configurations. The first thing I did was just score it, like direct score, knowing that there'd be these elements, which I recorded separately, of Bach and Beethoven. The film's composer went on to reveal that he had used a ton of different classical pieces from different composers in a bid to get the scene exactly right. But Elfman then told fans that Feige wanted a specific style, more of a battle between composers, asking specifically for Bach and Beethoven. He went on to say, so then I redid it and made it Beethoven's Fifth Symphony fighting Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor. That was really done at the very last second, kind of crazy close to the release. It was an idea, and then Kevin heard it and he said, we need to condense this down and make it like this. And that's exactly how it went down. What did you make of the scene? And now, one particular scene nearly didn't make it. Director Sam Raimi has revealed that he and Marvel head Kevin Feige had somewhat of a creative difference concerning one particular scene. Feige wanted the scene where Strange and Mordo go head-to-head in a sort of Western-style stare-down removed because he thought it was corny. However, Raimi revealed that it was modeled on one of his old scenes from another of his movies, 1995 Western, The Quick and the Dead, and Raimi has given several more nods to other films of his throughout Multiverse of Madness, but thankfully, Feige allowed him to keep the stare-down scene in. He said, "I think Kevin thought maybe it was a little corny, and he wanted to cut it out, but I said, please, Kevin, let me have that." He went, "Okay, fine, have your corny stuff." It was very, very kind of him, generous. I mean, Raimi was the director and had a specific direction he wanted to go in with the movie. So the last thing he would have needed was a studio head who wasn't involved in the creative process telling him what he should and shouldn't be including in his films, right? It must be extremely frustrating for the creative minds behind filmmaking to have to deal with the money men and pencil pushers at the studio who think they know more about what it is a certain film needs. What are your thoughts on this particular scene? Let us know below. And finally, Benedict Cumberbatch has been speaking about a potential third movie. Stay tuned. The Multiverse of Madness brought the concept of the multiverse into the forefront of the minds of Marvel fans, and given that ending, we can probably expect more stories from this corner of the MCU. And the end of the movie set up a potential third film, as Strange meets up with Clea, who wants him to fix a problem he has directly caused. Strange actor Benedict Cumberbatch recently sat down to discuss all things Doctor Strange 3, suggesting that he wasn't finished with the story in the slightest. He said, "I hope so. I would love to do another one. Doctor Strange is such a complex character, and it feels like there is so much more to explore with him. He is such a brilliant character, and I'm still having a wild time playing him." And of course, he is right. The character of Strange has many strings to his bow, and the writers have plenty of different directions they could take him in if and when a third movie gets given the green light. And given the success of the sequel so far, it's currently brought in more than $950 million. We can probably expect the studio to give the go-ahead on the third film sooner rather than later. Would you guys like to see a third Doctor Strange movie? Let us know below. As usual, thanks for stopping by today, and remember to join us again next time when we will be discussing all sorts of other fun bits and pieces. And why not do us a solid by liking and sharing today's video with any Marvel heads you might know of. Bye guys!